Hello, my fellow Gambians. Today, I am going to address you on two very important issues about our beloved country, the Gambia. The issue of the reckless and unnecessary celebration of the July 22nd, and of course, the serious exodus of Gambian young people who are taking the back way to Europe to find greener pastures. Fellow Gambians, the celebration of the 22nd July anniversary is, of course, a serious demonstration of President Jammeh's serious disregard of the Gambian Republican Constitution, because President Jammeh himself is supposed to be a democratically elected president under the President's Constitution. And therefore, it is ironical and a disgrace and an insult to the Gambian people for him to be celebrating in grand style the darkest days and the darkest day in the history of the Gambia. That is the day that is young, misguided members of our armed forces decided to topple the legitimate democratic government of the P.P.P, which was elected in a free, fair, and transparent election by the Gambian people. The impunity and contempt with which the president and his government treats the Gambian people is unprecedented in African history. We have never seen in Africa any government that came through the barrel of the gun to continue to celebrate that day in the way that Jammeh and his government are celebrating the day that they committed the most serious international crime, which is condemned not only by the UN, by all international organizations, civilized countries, and civilized societies. We have never seen government, the heads of governments who came through the barrel of the gun. Never Gaddafi, Idi Amin, Mengistu Haile Mariam, Bukata, Charles Taylor. Name them. People who impose themselves on the people of their countries have never, ever wasted so much resources and pomp to celebrate the day that they committed treason against their country and their people. For us in the Gambia, this celebration is taking place within an environment of abject poverty and hunger among the Gambian people. The United Nations has just released a report where it is stated that over 200,000 Gambians are now living in poverty and hunger and needs food aid. And out of these 200,000, 8,000 are really under malnutrition, and out of that 8,000, 5,000 are children under 10. There is abject poverty. All the hospitals are lack of important medications and drugs. And the WFP, the World Food Program, have started to distribute food aid throughout the Gambia in the areas where are seriously affected by hunger and malnutrition. It is within this environment that the government of the Gambia, being so insensitive to the plight of the Gambian people, to the terrible situation of the Gambian people, that Yahya Jammeh desires to spend millions and millions of dollars to celebrate a so-called revolution. As Che Guevara says, a revolution is a simultaneous organization from the people, but not from a small group of misguided military people who took guns that they were supposed to protect, used to protect the integrity and sovereignty and independence of the states, to instead go against the very principles that they were employed for. That is why, for the last 20 years, Gambians have seen poverty, backwardness, violation of human rights, violations of rule of law, and of course, the over-concentration of power and resources in the hands of one person who is the president. Gambia before 1994 has never experienced the unprecedented exodus of young people taking the back way to go to Europe to seek for greener pastures. Never in the 29 years of the P.P.P. regime. Because at that time, we had in place economic policies that were fulfilling the aspirations of the Gambian people. Young people were engaged in fruitful engagements, and opportunities were created for them on the ground, whether you are in the rural areas or in the urban areas. During the reign of the P.P.P., farmers were able to farm, sell their produce, take care of their families. Farmers go to Mecca from the proceeds of their produce, send their wives to Mecca. But in the last 20 years, farming has gone down to zero. And because of that, the young people lost hope in farming because all efforts have been undermined by the wrong agricultural policies of the Jammeh regime. I am happy to report that during his statement for the committee, for once, President Jammeh agreed openly that the Jawara's agricultural policies and program were far better than his. Therefore, the Gambian young people who used to work with their parents on the farms thought that they can come to the urban areas and have a better life. Unfortunately, they met the young people in the urban areas are even living more difficult lives than those in the urban areas. There are no jobs, no opportunities, and no freedom. The young ones have lost hope in their country. They have lost hope in the leadership of this country. And they are desperate. They have aging parents who look up to them for assistance. They should be taking care of their parents at this time. Because of that commitment to family, commitment to social development of your family, and commitment to make themselves good citizens of this country. But because of the terrible economic situation of this country and the bad governance program, They have lost hope in everything that this government stands for, because promises have been made for 20 years, and these promises have never been fulfilled. And because of they have lost hope in their government, they have lost hope in the leadership of this country, they have to find alternatives. No young Gambians want to die. But no young Gambian also would like to watch his or her parents suffer whilst they have nothing to do with it. That is what is taking them to the back way. In the 29 years of the P.P.P., young people can go to any Nordic country without a visa. They can go to the U.S. with very easy access to visas, not to talk about the United States, because the P.P.P. regime built a formidable and privileged relationship with all these developed countries, and they became our partners in development. But today, because of the unprovoked and unnecessary attacks that President Jammeh and his government are making on the EU, the United States, and other Western countries, because of the unprofessional and unreasonable foreign policy, unmatured foreign policy that they have in place, Gambia is being isolated more and more. And this has brought the difficulties that the young people of this country are presently experiencing. Therefore, we as Gambians have to stand up and speak out against the resource-based destruction of the Jammeh regime. For the last week, we have witnessed the reckless spending of millions and millions of dollars for a celebration that is not worth celebration and is legal. It's illegal internationally. Why should this not be spent on youth development, create jobs and opportunities, create agro-industries, create factories and other skill centers, and make packages for them when they qualify in the sales center. Give them equipment and tools and implements to start a new life. But instead, Jammeh only thinks of himself, how to promote his ego, spending millions, wasting millions for no just cause. I am appealing to all Gambians, both within and outside this country, to come together, and for once we stand up together with one vision, with one determination, that come 2016, for the sake of our young generation, for the sake of the stability, peace, and progress of this country, we will come together and vote Jammeh out. And once more, institute in this country a viable democratic system with the foundation of governance, good governance, respect for human rights, and rule of law. And to strengthen the institutions of states, which are the guarantees for a viable democratic system, so that we will once more and once forever do away with the concentration of power and resources in the hands of one leader. And now we can build a system where the institutions of state are stronger than the leadership of the country. Africa and Gambia now need strong institutions of state and not strong leaders. We have to go back to the drawing boards and make sure the Gambia of before 1994 is to return to this country where every Gambian, particularly young, have the freedom they desired as the liberty they desire, and have access to information and can speak out. Freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom of association without hindrance or undue duress from state machinery. Gambia needs a change for the better. Gambians need a change for the future. Gambians need a change for the betterment of the young people of this country who are the future leaders of this country. Time is running out. Now is the time. Gambia is at a crossroads. We need leaders with vision, leaders who are sensitive to the plight and aspirations and problems of this country. We don't need leaders who have lost touch with the Gambian people. Leaders who just see themselves to be promoted, wasting resources for their own encouragements. That is wrong. Please, let us come together and salvage our country. Long live the P.P.P. Long live the Republic of the Gambia. God bless the Republic of the Gambia. Thank you very much.